Really well said. So if guys are listening, first of all, consider that extreme. There is a situation in this world where the lowest value guy could get the highest value girl. Just accept that as fact. And most guys will probably say, yeah, maybe Dan has a point. Then it's a numbers game. And then make sure you don't go in with the wrong frame. And you play that in a long enough timeline, you should find success, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I mean, and you're going to build confidence. And the way you're going to build confidence is you're not going to fucking care. And by not caring, that telegraphs confidence like nothing else. And if you've been rejected 500 times, are you really going to give a fuck if you get rejected 501? Like, probably not.
Yeah.
So just go out and fucking get rejected up 500 fucking times just so that you stop giving a fuck about rejection. And by the way, if you go out and your goal is to get rejected, you're not going to give a fuck if you do. And so that's actually going to help you. So go out and try and bomb 10 times with girls. Don't even try and fuck them. Try and fuck it up. Try and go embarrass yourself. Just fucking whatever it takes for you to go out there and not care or not put that much fucking, emphasis on the net result is just better. And like I said, just have conversations with them, ask them a question, whatever the fuck ever. Like, the more guys talk to hot girls, the less they're going to be nervous about it, because they're going to realize, like, these hot girls are just fucking human beings like you, and it's like, doesn't really matter that much. You're probably not going to fuck her, so who cares? Just go talk. And the more you do that, and the less there's, because a lot of times guys will get nervous. They'll put so much into it. They'll be like, oh my God, this girl's so hot. Like, that could be the one. Like, I would marry that girl, blah, blah, blah. They fucking hype her up in their head. And it's like, who knows? This girl maybe have fucking banged 10 dudes last week. She may be the fucking town bicycle for all you know. You know what I mean? She may be a working fucking hooker. Like, who knows? Maybe she's got a fucking, disease. I don't know. Like, there could be fucking issues with this person, but in their mind, they've like put this person on the pedestal. And because of that, like, their approach just sucks. And also, a lot of times these hot girls don't think that highly of themselves because they know they have flaws, or they're comparing themselves with the top echelon of other girls or whatever. And so the moment you start putting them on that pedestal, they, in their mind, immediately view you as being beneath them. And if they don't have high self-esteem, then they're automatically going to think you're really fucking a loser if you're kissing their ass. I mean, it's stripper mentality, right? That's why strippers always end up, I mean, not all, but most strippers end up with guys that treat them like shit, is because the guys that have been treating them good are usually low value guys, coupled with the fact that they usually don't have high self-esteem themselves. So when a guy does treat them well, they automatically think, oh, well, this guy must not be that cool. And so that's like a self-fulfilling prophecy for that girl to be miserable for sure for the rest of her life, because she's never going to find a guy that, well, she may find guys that give a shit about her, but she's never going to give them the time of day. The only guys that they're going to date is guys that don't give a shit about them, which is a recipe for disaster.
I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up.
If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you gonna do? What's the choice that you're going to make?
So
yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Most guys, especially when they're first starting off, would never understand that the hottest girl in the room might be less secure with herself than one of the mediocre looking girls. And so sometimes the hot girls compare themselves against the hot girls, and sometimes they're very insecure. And again, it's a lot like celebrities. I've had a lot of famous people on the show, including you, and the last thing they want to do is someone to come up to them and say, "Oh my gosh, you're amazing. I've been watching you my whole life. Could you just give me 1 second of your precious time?" Like, nobody likes to be treated that way. Not a celebrity, not a hot girl, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't bother me. You know, I mean, when people do that, I mean, I'm flattered. You know, I mean, I think it's cool. I'm always like nice to people that come up and if they're complimentary, I'm never like, oh, this guy's a loser. Like, I don't think like that. I wouldn't say that, but like, if you're trying to like befriend a celebrity, going up and like kissing their ass excessively is probably not gonna, lead to that. But I don't know, man. I think, look, we're all humans, man. Whether somebody's famous or not, a lot of times people that are famous have more fucking issues than people that aren't. A lot of times when you focus on one thing, like if all you've been doing, like, listen, there's 8 billion fucking people in the world. If you are the best at something and you've beaten 8 billion, I mean, obviously everybody's not competing for the same shit, but whatever. If you're the best out of 8 billion at one thing, like usually you're fucking pretty like tunnel visioned, and you're like, your scope of experience is probably pretty limited. And so a lot of these people aren't the best socially adapted always, they're the best at whatever it is because they've dedicated their entire fucking life to that thing. But by definition, that usually makes them less well-rounded, less experienced in other things. So like when they're talking about that one thing, yeah, they've got a great area of expertise, but when it comes to just like life in general, they might not be very interesting people, for the most part. And also fame is isolating too. So you take that coupled with the isolation piece of it. And a lot of times, some of these famous people are kind of socially awkward. Like they can perform, it's like a comedian, for instance. Like I didn't realize this until later, but I was going to some of these comedy shows, and a lot of these comedians aren't funny. They're just actors. They've done that fucking skit 100 times, and they've paused at the right time, and their fucking delivery is right and whatever. But like, they're not just coming up there fucking and they're super witty and they're coming up with all these fucking I mean, some of them are. I'm sure. I'm not saying all comedians aren't funny. Like obviously some of them are, but a lot of them literally just go practice that fucking routine until it's perfected. And I learned this because I went to some comedy clubs in LA, and they were like, pretty entertaining. It was cool. It was fun. But like sometimes, you'd see the same comedian come up and he would do the same exact fucking skit that he had just done last week. And when you saw it last week, you're like, oh, fuck, that's pretty funny. Like he paused, he incorporated people from the audience. It's like, oh, like it just seemed like this was happening right there in the moment. But like that motherfucker had been sitting in his fucking apartment rehearsing this for like 500 hours before this, and he had done it at 10 other comedy clubs or whatever. So I don't know, man, life is not always what it seems,